Alright everybody, it is time for my 600-mile maintenance. I'm going to follow the maintenance schedule for the 2022 Honda Ruckus, except that I'm also going to clean the engine oil strainer screen and go ahead and inspect the crankcase breather too. Find a good level spot to do your work and go ahead and run the engine to get the oil warm. Okay, here we are on the right side of the scooter. First thing you need to do is loosen the oil cap. Just let it sit like that, just so air can get through. We're on the left side, or the side with the Kickstarter on the Ruckus. See the bolt right in back of the kickstand, the center stand right there. That's the bolt to drain the oil. It's 17 millimeter. I have a towel down here so I don't make a mess. Millimeter socket. There we go. Okay, it's broke free. Okay, when we're through, go ahead and make sure that everything is clean. Go ahead and screw that in loosely. Just keep oil from dripping. Hand tight's fine. I guess this is optional because they say it doesn't need to be done yet. Anyway, I don't see why you wouldn't want to change, or clean rather, the oil screen. Right there. Let's do it this way. Okay. Let's go ahead and move this under. Take this out. To reseat that oil O-ring there. That's where it goes. There's this. It's got a spring in there. Put this here. This is your oil screen. What you want to do is check for and clean any metal shards. Okay, once it's clean, put everything back in the opposite to how you took it off. Let's go ahead and clean this up a little. This spring goes on next. Go ahead and get a little of your waste oil that you had and oil your O-ring. Just get that on there hand tight. Careful not to cross the threads. It's all on there hand tight. Snug it. Go ahead, and I'm going to go ahead and snug that one. It's out of camera, but that's what I'm doing. Okay, the service manual says the torque for the engine oil drain bolt is 18. There you go, 18. Okay, the torque spec for the oil screen is 14. There you go. Not an easy one to get to. Okay, so the oil capacity for the manual. If you change the oil screener, or clean the oil screener, I keep saying change, is 0.7 US quarts. I'm going to call that good for now, and I'm going to check it. I keep seeing everybody when they check their oil, they always screw in the dipstick. You're not supposed to. You can read that. You can catch that in the manual, or maybe I'll throw it up. But basically, you're just supposed to seat it and come out and look. That looks just about right. I'm gonna go ahead and start this up. Let the oil go where it will. Good. Alright, I'll let that run for about 5 minutes. Okay, it's been running for a couple of minutes. I'm going to go ahead and kill it and let the oil settle down, and then I'll check it one more time. Right now I'm going to check for leaks. Okay, I don't see any leaks around there. Nor here. Okay, so if you ride your scooter in the rain, I have not done that yet, or if you run it, you know, full tilt, pegged out all the way, which I do a lot actually, then you need to check your crankcase breather hose. And that's this pink one right here. And all you have to do to inspect it is to see if there's anything in that hose. And if there is, then you dump it out. There is nothing in that hose, which I'm surprised. But if you don't do that, then oil can get back into your air cleaner and bog down your engine. So we're good there. Okay, the next thing on the list is the idle adjustment. I don't need to do mine, but in the interest of saying that I'm doing the full maintenance, I'm going to go ahead and show you where it is. I'm under the seat right here. And so, but it's very easy to see. You just get yourself a Phillips screwdriver and you put it right there, and it seats very well. And to increase the idle speed, you turn clockwise. And to decrease, you turn counterclockwise. You're supposed to be at 2,000 RPM at idle. Okay, so the next step is brake adjustment or inspection. So you're supposed to have from the book, 3/16 to 3/8 play here before it catches. And this is your front brake, and that's just a little loose right here. Here on the front wheel, just give that like a quarter of a turn. Comparing against front to back. Okay, I like that. I'm gonna go ahead and adjust the rear brake just a bit. That's right here, no tools required. Just give it a little bit of a turn. You'd be surprised what it'll do. Okay, that's for the brakes. All right, the next thing is to inspect the brake lock. I use this all the time basically because the driveway out front is on a hill. You just make sure that that will hold, and that's good and tight, and it is. If you're not adjusted well, that won't hold. So I know it's in good shape. Okay, so the next thing is to check your steering head bearings. What you need to do is check up your front wheel. Make sure it's stable and won't fall off. And what you do is you turn your steering wheel from lock to lock. See if there's any binding. See if there's any notch in the middle. And there isn't on this. The last thing you do is you come to the forks and you pull up on the forks and see if there's any play at all. And there isn't. Okay, that's it. If there was any play, I would need to tighten the head bearings, and that would be another video. If you could feel a notch as you're going from left to right, then that means your bearings are shot. Okay, so the last thing we're supposed to do on the list, and the most tedious thing, is to, they say, inspect all the bolts on the chassis. Now it doesn't say which bolts, it just says all of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and I'm going to check all these bolts right here, and I won't show you me doing it. I'll come back if I actually see something. But I guess these could become loose as you're driving around. So if I see something, I'm going to check basically these, you know, these superficial cover bolts on these plastic covers. Make sure they didn't shake loose, and I'll check bolts like this, and I'll check the seats, and I'll go underneath. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to look around and make sure nothing shook loose. And I'm not going to put a torque wrench on all these. But if I do find something, I will come back and let you guys know that it is something that you should pay attention to. You don't have to take this to the shop. You can do it yourself, and you should learn how to do things on your own as far for your Ruckus, in case you take it on a trip, which I'm going to be taking mine on long trips. And if you'd like to see those, just like and subscribe.